Hello, I'm Tom Bailey, and in today's episode, I'll be getting to know Hugh Liddle, who is the sales wizard at Red Cap Sales Coaching and also the Elite Sales Academy. He's also the author of The Take the Icky and Scary Out of Sales, and he is the host of the Sales Chalk Talk radio show. So, Hugh, hello, and a very warm welcome to today's episode.
My pleasure. Good to be here, Tom.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And out of interest, whereabouts are you in the world right now?
I am in Sebring, Florida.
Fantastic, amazing. And I just want to share a little bit more about you before we do get started. So, Hugh's sales training and coaching comes from over 51 years of in the field sales and sales management experience. So today you're getting real life experience from his teaching, not just something out of a textbook. The title for today's episode is How to Take the Icky and Scary Out of Sales. And Hugh is going to show us how to do that in just 7 minutes. So question number one for you today is, who are your ideal clients?
My ideal clients are really any service-based business, and I've kind of specialized in chiropractors, actually.
Okay.
So it could be anybody, but chiropractors are the folks that I really love working with, and
Fantastic.
they give such a gift to the world, and
Yeah.
they're typically really fun, good people. So.
Absolutely. And you may or may not get a free session out of it as well, but that's not the main point. So the question I've got then is, thinking of these chiropractors or any other business like that, what's the biggest session that they face?
Well, most doctors and a lot of business owners don't really want to do the selling themselves,
Yeah.
and they don't really enjoy it, and they really would rather spend their time doing other things that are more important to them than the sales aspect of things. And so one of the things that I try to encourage chiropractors especially to do is hire a team of people who can take care of their marketing and their sales and other aspects of their business so that they
Hmm.
can spend time hands-on, literally, with their practice members. And it works the same way for any service business,
Yeah.
that um, the CEOs of companies or business owners just really need to spend their time working on their business instead of just in their business.
Hmm. Okay, I completely understand. And let's say, for example, if a business owner was trying to do the sales and marketing as well as everything else, what impact does that normally have on them?
Well, for one thing, I in my business for a long time I wore all of the hats. All of them
Yeah.
were red, but
Hmm.
I did
Of course.
everything. So on I worked 5 days a week, usually, I don't know, 12, 15 hours a day. And on the weekends, instead of hanging out with my family and enjoying the time, I was
Mhm.
sitting there with the computer on my lap
Yeah.
doing work Saturday and Sunday. And it really got to be too much. And fortunately, I hired a time task management coach,
Nice.
and she has me to the point I still work 12-hour days, but I only do it 4 days a week. And
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I am off. I'm off the grid. I don't do anything business wise on those 3 days.
In- Incredible. Fantastic. So yeah, it makes complete sense to get that work life balance for them. So anybody listening to this who hasn't quite got that yet, what's the one piece of valuable advice that you'd give them to really help them solve this problem?
Delegate and outsource.
Hmm.
And I have I have a wonderful marketing company that does all of my marketing for me. I do some writing and some
Yeah.
video work,
Hmm.
and they take care of getting it up on the internet. And they help me. They send me a calendar every month of things that they need from me in order to do my marketing.
Hmm.
They do it. I don't. I don't spend a whole lot of time doing my marketing. I have a gentleman in the Philippines who manages my LinkedIn page for me and does all of the connection requests and follow up messaging and posts videos. And
Yeah.
I don't have to do any of those kinds of things. And it has saved me just a ton of time that
Yeah.
I can use working in other aspects of my business that are really more involved in revenue producing activity.
Yeah, fantastic. Great advice for anybody listening to this episode. And the next question I've got then is, what is something that you can offer, or what's a valuable resource that you can give out to people to really help them get started with this challenge?
Well, one of the challenges that I've had, just in addition to trying to do everything myself, has been focusing on one thing. And in my past, I've sometimes um, tried to do more than one business at a time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
found out that I didn't do either one of them well.
Hmm.
And the same thing with tasks. If I don't really stay focused in, I can spread myself very, very thin and try to do more than one thing at a time. And so my definition nowadays of multitasking is doing more than one thing at a time very badly.
Yeah.
So so one of the best resources that I can recommend is a great book by Gary Keller, the CEO of Keller Williams Real Estate. It's called The One Thing, and
Nice.
it's about focusing on one thing at a time, and figuring out what the most important thing is for you to be doing at any
Hmm.
moment in time, and then focus 100% on doing that until it's done, and then
Yeah.
move on to the next thing.
Yeah. That's some great advice. Thanks very much. And then in terms of contacting yourself, or getting anything out of you, or support from you, how would people find you?
Redcapsalescoaching.com
Hmm.
is one place. And
Incredible. Yeah.
the second place, if you'd like to have um, an hour, up to an hour of my time, and have a sales strategy session, talk about your business and your sales, and get some tips and strategies and that you can use right away, and find out whether Redcap Sales Coaching is a good fit doing coaching with us. um, you can go to bit.ly / wizard strategy. And that's my calendar. And you can just book yourself in on the calendar. And listen, it is a fun, friendly conversation. There's no
Hmm.
charge for it. There's no obligation. There's no pressure at all. And by the way, we titled this episode "Take the Icky and Scary Out of Sales." And that's exactly the kind of conversations you need to be having with people if you want to take the icky and scary out of sales.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks so much for sharing those with us. What I'll do is I'll put those into the show notes below this episode so people can just click on those and dive right in. So, quick question for yourself then, Hugh. What would you say is one of your greatest either mistakes or failures that you've made either in life or business, and what did you learn from it?
Unfortunately, I think that the biggest mistake that I made early on in my life when my kids were growing up is that I was spending too much time working and not enough time with my kids.
Yeah.
And that's, if I have one regret in my life, that is it. Looking back on it, is that I just didn't take the time that I really needed to take to spend time with them. And if you've got kids, be sure that you're really spending time with them, and valuable time, not just that you're in the same room together, but really time communicating with them, because it's going to be like that, and they're going to be growing up with families of their own.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so take the time, make the time when you do have time.
Absolutely. And that's great advice for any young entrepreneurs who are looking to start a family soon as well. So, the last question for me today is, what is one question that I should have asked you that will also bring some great value to our audience today?
All right. Well, the again, the title of this episode is "Take the Icky and Scary Out
Mhm,
of Sales." And
mhm.
so I just want to share with you my sales philosophy.
Please do.
And it goes a long way toward taking the icky and scary out of the process.
Yeah.
And that is that it is not your job as a salesperson to get other people to do what you want them to do, what you think they should do, or what you even know they should do. It's your
Yeah.
job to help them do what they want to do.
Got it.
And what your prospect wants is really the whole important thing in the sales conversation. Ask good questions, find out what they want, and if you can give it to them explain to them how they can have it, and you're a long way toward having a positive buying decision without the icky and scary trying to twist people's arms and argue with them and shame them and all the stuff from the old time sales from years ago.
Yeah, and it's a much more enjoyable experience for both the person selling and the person buying as well.
Absolutely is. That's
Yeah.
right.
Fantastic. Great advice to end on. I really appreciate that. So, Hugh, thanks again for coming along today and sharing such great value with our audience.
Well, Tom, thank you for having me on the show. This was a lot of fun.